Okay, hello friends and followers. I am back from the hospital with a stroke, and it's my feeling the hospital induced my stroke. I went out to the hospital for troubles breathing, and I was vomiting. So I went to the ER, and when I got into the ER, I waited for a long time. They finally saw me, and the ER nurse put an IV into me and tried to put some drug into me of some sort. As soon as she did that, I heard a bubbling sound in my ears, bubbling in my brain, and I shouted, "Bubbles in my brain, bubbles in my head," and they wouldn't turn it off in time. I guess they didn't know what I meant because this was a malpractice basically. And then after I said bubbles in my brain, bubbles in my brain, I passed out and my heart stopped. So anyway, that's my hospital adventure. I wake up and I find my left arm is sort of paralyzed. For a few days, I couldn't even get my arm to function, and I couldn't touch my nose with my index finger on my left arm, and I couldn't walk at all. As soon as I walked on Monday, I collapsed. So anyway, that was not fun. I stayed in the hospital until last night. Would have been Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today is Saturday, and I got out last night. I was terrified in that hospital. First of all, I was terrified that I would die if I got another IV and it went wrong and gave me another stroke or air in my brain. So that's what happened to me. I thank God and praise God for people who prayed for me, and I feel God has really been at work to bring me back. So I can walk now a little bit. I can't walk great, but I can walk. My left arm is coming back. I don't have full coordination. I can't type with it fully, but it's back. Anyway, enough of me. So this is a This is a Tempo 1 SSB transceiver, as you can see. I met a really nice guy on eBay who I sent one of these to, and eBay or UPS broke it up. I sent it right before I went to the hospital on Sunday and took it to the UPS store. Anyway, they really smashed it up. So we talked it out, and I think he feels that this one might be, another radio was in his desire, because he had these a long time ago and talked to many people on them. So I agree. I like these radios a lot. Henry Tempo 1 and FT200. So this one, I've gone through this radio all day now, messing with it, and I was finally able to get 40 meters stabilized. And again, this little coil here, which goes the RF amp. This coil is critical for getting 40 meters right. This coil and the two capacitors on the bottom. I'm afraid of getting shocked, so I'm not gonna flip the radio over when it's turned on. Anyway, with that said, I have a light bulb here on the back to prove it has power. And I'll go through all the bands now on it. I did put in this circuit here because it had a solid state balance modulator in here, and that wasn't working out. So I put in this little circuit here, which were simply empty component holes on the circuit board that Yaesu had left in there because they had the balance modulator, the solid state modulator. I could never make that modulator work. I changed some transistors in it, some FETs. I think they were J FETs or something. I couldn't make it work. So I bought another one of these balance modulator tubes. These are very expensive. And put in this little potentiometer and all the resistors. If you look at here carefully and see parts that look, newer, you can see they're all kind of bluish and orangish parts. Those are the ones that I've added. Okay, so that's that. And I'll comment that if you touch any of these cans here and fiddle with them, it'll affect the receive and the transmit. So you got to be careful on those. I just basically tune these for good noise, for good solid white noise where it sounds the loudest, and no signal, no antenna. That's why I do those. All right, so this RF amp here is critical for 40 meters to work right. You got to tweak this RF amp. If it's not tweaking right, I found that a coffee stir, this comes with your coffee in the morning. When you get coffee, they put this in so it won't spill in your car. So I use one of these, and I cut off the end when I can't. I make a point in the end here when I can't make these things move, and just stuff it in here. and tweak the circuit. But be careful, if you break the slug in there, you're out of luck. So anyway, I tweaked that one today a bit and when you tweak this at 40 meters, you want to tweak it so that you're at the middle of the band here. So go to the middle of the band and tweak it so you get the point right here that has the best. So when you rotate your grid, you want it to balance out, have the best noise in the middle of the band, in the middle of the grid adjustment. Okay, the grid cap, which you see moving back there, the 3-gain capacitor. And you also want to adjust the 2 capacitors under the radio for 40 meters, which are square and they have a screw in them. Adjust those for best noise right smack at 12 o'clock here. That's how the book says to do it. All right, so now we're going to go through how to tune this thing on all these bands. And with one hand, it might be tough, but let's do it. And boy, am I tired from my medical problems. Oh my God. Okay, so we're going to go to tune here. We're on tune. Now, tune will not work if the audio oscillator in this thing is not running. So you have to turn this thing over. There's a board with 2 pots. You got to make sure the little oscillator in CW mode is working, because that will send audio from the mic gain control here. And I think this control, okay, it's not a dual pot, but anyway, they have this control wired that it feeds a bit of that audio into the balance modulator here and gives you a signal, which is, I would say in tune mode, you are transmitting an SSP signal with a tone. So that's how it works. Okay, so we're in tune mode. The mic gain, you leave it down. Grid, you want to go for max noise on these bands. So right now we're going to go to 80 meters. And we're going to go for max noise. So we go volume up, max noise. And this is 80, max peaking right there. Can you hear that? Right there. Let's go back to the middle of the band. Where am I here? I'm not quite at the middle, so back to 250. On 80 we're 3.5, so you want to go to 50 here. And let's take a look. Okay, that is the middle of the band. That's where we're going to check this thing out, right there, okay? Now, we got peak. This is down. Meters on current, which is fine. Volume down. And now, when you tune, you want to go to operate mode here, and that will start the tuning. Careful on your mic gain not to burn your tubes out. Don't let this go too high, okay? When you key these radios, there's a bias that will give it initial current. It'll go up a little bit, okay? Do you see that? So that's your bias current. I don't know if it's set right, but it's close. That's your bias current, okay? Now, when I increase the mic gain here, it'll add that tone to the balance modulator. Check it out. So we're gonna take it up a little bit. That should rise. Do you see the rising here when I'm turning that? It's rising a little bit. That's how that works. So take it just enough up, okay? And move this to 80 meters here. So I calibrated this today. So take this thing to 3.5. It'll be close, right about there. And the load, I think, on that band is gonna be high. So increase your load there. Got the light bulb back there. We're gonna tune for light bulb, okay? For brightness. So gonna go, we're in operate, bam, back there. Dip this thing for a little dip here. There's the dip. Okay, you see a light bulb coming on there? So that's how that works. We're peaking the light bulb there. And you might want to turn the load here. And see how I'm taking the load down? Light bulb's not any brighter, so load up. That's probably as best you're going to do on 80 with the full load here in this light bulb anyway. Okay, so that's tuned. Now let's hit the gas and see what it does. So first tune your grid. Okay, yeah, tune your grid. Tune your grid. You tune for noise, but tune your grid for max after that. So do that, tune the grid like I'm showing you here. All right. Now, punch it, baby. So now we're gonna punch it. We're gonna put the Ferrari in gear and hit the gas. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so see how bright that goes? I don't wanna burn the finals up, but there's the curtain, it's taken right there. And that's how she goes, okay? So 80 works. All right, and there's a little power output thing here too. Let's see if power output on the meter works. Okay, mic gain, boom, boom. Yeah, see the power output, how it goes halfway? Whoa, it doesn't like that. That's really good. Sounds like it has an oscillation somewhere. Well, we'll figure that out later. Could be the impedance of the antenna, the light bulb. Okay, that is running. Now, we're gonna go to 40 meters here, go to 40, click, move this to 40, like that. Mic gain down, grid, tune for noise. So noise here, like that. Now we're gonna go to the tune mode here and Put that back on current and see what happens. So tune mode. And now let's go for mic gain a little bit here, for meter up, good. Now tune your grid, a little bit of grid, that's close. Now 40 should work if we dip it, okay? So a little more power here, operate, a little more power. You see now the current going up there. Light's coming on a little bit, so we got some light now. So let's do the light tune here. Okay, there's your light tune. Let's take a load down. So 40 on this thing at least. Oh, it's peaking up there better. So it wants load about, this one likes the load to be right about there. All right, peak the grid again. Let's punch it. Wow. So 40, this thing has a lot of power. See that? I burn a light bulb out. Okay, power output mode here. Wow, this is a grid radio. All right, off goes this. So far we've tested 80 and 40 and it's looking good. Now we're gonna go on to 20. Now I know on 20 meters, this load has to be down lower, so we'll put it down about there, I think. Move this plate tuning to 20 meters there, and now we're gonna try it out. Remember to tune the grid, okay? So we're gonna noise. And then we're gonna do the grid. So we power it up, make sure it's down. A little bit of gas here, a little bit of drive. Okay, see the drive now, we're gonna peak the grid. So the grid's coming in good. So the grid is pretty much obeying where the noise is, which is how it should go. Now we're on 20 meters and we're going to now turn it on. Little mic gain there, watching the light bulb there, and dip the plate. Okay, see our dip there on the plate? And we got some light bulb coming on too. See a light bulb there coming on? All right, let's play with the load. Get the load better. I'm taking the load down. No light bulb, load up a little bit. There's a better light bulb, more load. Okay, the load's a good about where it was. That's it. Now we're gonna punch it. Okay, try the grid again, peek it, it's good. Punch it. Wow. This is a great radio, people. This thing is the power monster. Look at that thing go. All right, I don't have a watt meter, but you can see the power output and the meters going, but this is the best radio I have, I think, as far as the transmitter working right. Okay, so that's 20. Okay, now we're gonna go to good old 15 meters, click, and we're gonna peak for noise. Hear the noise there? Okay, noise off. Okay, now we're gonna go to 15 here, which, actually no, we're going to 20. No, we're going to 15. Okay, there's 15. Okay, load, grid, blah, blah, blah. So now we're gonna turn it on again. Go to current. Let's go for a little bit of current here, a little bit of gas, go for a peak on the grid. Whoa, look at the grid. Okay, so the grid's good. I've turned the mic in all the way down, and it's still mouthing off here, so that's the way it is. Okay, let's give it a quick peek here, give it a dip. There's our dip. There's our light on 15 meters, so now we're on 15. Okay, now we're gonna do some load here. Load usually goes, yeah, load down here works better on this rig. A little less load on 15, a little less load, a little less load, a little less load. That's probably as good as it gets. Okay, let's give it the gas test here. So peak the grid again. There's our grid, it's good. Okay, now we're gonna punch it. Punch it, boom, boom, boom. This thing is the bomb. It is really a great radio. Okay, power output mode, poof, punch it. Pss, pss. This thing is amazing. It's the best I've ever seen as far as my stable of radios. Okay, power off, we're going to 10. 10 is a really difficult band to tune on a tempo run. It takes a lot of finesse, so check it out. Now we're on 10. We're gonna go volume up, peak it for volume. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, we're on 10 now, so for 10, we're gonna go mic down, tune. I think I'm gonna take the loading down a bit to there. Operate. Let's go with some gain here now. And now we're gonna peak it for grid again. It's pretty well good. This is a great radio. Now we're gonna try and dip this thing on 10. There's my dip. Now 10 is very fussy, so I'm gonna give it a little more juice here. There's our light. We got light. Now we're gonna mess with the load here. See how it's getting a little better. So 10 likes a bit less loading. Okay, let's try it some more. I'm sorry I'm dipping the camera. My left arm is compromised from my stroke, so I'm having trouble holding the camera. Okay, okay, that's probably pretty good. Let's punch it. So that's good power on 10. Let's see what else we can do in 10 here. That's all I'm gonna do with it. But yeah, that's good power on 10 right there. That's really good power with a light, so be happy with that. Well, make it some more of it. I'm unloading it now. Yeah, might get some more. Might get some more power, people. Okay, there we go. Let's punch it now. Boom. Oh, wow. Okay, this radio is crazy good on 10. It's crazy good. And that concludes my demo of how to tune this baby up. A Tempo 1 FT200. Okay, power off, tune off, sideband mode. We're gonna check the receive now. Always turn the radio off when you're monkeying with it because you don't want to get shocked. You can get killed from this radio. There's 750 volts in that power supply. 750 volts, probably 500 milliamps. That will kill you. So when you do anything with this radio, turn the damn thing off, okay? That's all I need to get shocked and a stroke again, okay? So it's like, holy crap. All right, so the antenna has been proven. We're taking it off. And we're taking this out of the back here, the light bulb. We're gonna put this back in here. Power's off, right? So power off, put the antenna back in and tighten it up. Antenna is now going in. I'm having trouble getting it in. Why? I don't know. Okay, there it goes. Antenna's going in. PL259 into SO239. All right, so we've done our safety thing. And boy, I got hacked up in the hospital. Check out that stuff. Oh my God. I had a really bad IV there. Hurts. Had an IV here. I went up here. I don't know. I'm glad to be out of there. Who the heck thinks IVs are good? Okay, so now we're trying to power this radio up. Sideband mode. And this is a great radio. It's probably the best one I have. Best one I have. All right, we're powering up here. We're going to go to 40 meters. So you won't hear much on 40 or an 80 around here. I don't think right now. Here's 80. This will be dead. So who cares? But when you change bands in this thing, you always do the grid peak. So change band, 40 meters. Grid peak. That's it. And 40 should peak like this, okay? It should really, in the middle of the band, if you're in the middle around 250 here, it should peak like that. It shouldn't have any weird peak down here or here. It should peak in the middle. That's how you know it's working right. Let's look for people in 40. I don't know who they are. They're kind of weird. And then always peek your grid.
It's incredible how wonderful these things are now.
Okay, that's 40. CW. Teletype. Okay, 40 works. 20 meters. Click. Peak for noise. 20, just spin the dial, see what you get. Up. Two. Well, that's 20. I can't say that I'm impressed by the band today. There's nobody talking really. Okay, there's 15. Peek it up.
Can you open it up for me, Keith? This is perfect. Thank you for your water. Excelente, muy bien, 5-9 más. Aquí espero, 5-9. Saturday morning. Like sometimes difficult time finding anybody that wants to get up and do them on a Saturday morning, but presentations run about like 10 o'clock or something like that, and I guess you're on the same time.
Anyway, that's 15. Let's see if 10 will have anybody on it. Sometimes it does. 10 meters, click. Peek it. So 10 meters on this around here, it seems like at the bottom of the band, there's always somebody. So you want to set this thing on to 28.5, and then you want to take this thing way down. So there's our black scale here. There's usually somebody way down here somewhere yapping away. So let's try that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's as far as we're going to go. I'll even take it down further, but don't hit the stop and break the VFO. Okay, so now the stop's about there. Be careful of the stop. Don't break your VFO. And now we're going to go on to receive. Do a peek. Let's find somebody. Whoa.
Ron 45. Got it lined up on Ron 45, and got it set up on a tram system. One of the razors, and where I can lower it up and down with a winch when I need to get it down, Roger.
Okay, there's somebody yapping, right? There's somebody there. So 10 on this radio is happening. Is this working good? Okay, come on.
Here's Dallas, 59, Louisiana. OMIS number is 10337.
Okay, anyway, there's 10. I can't say it's real active, but it's working great.
With us, but not here. Don't hear you as quite as much as I see you on the list. Over. Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I hadn't really been playing with it too much lately myself. Just the weather was kind of crappy today, so I decided I seen it on the contest thing. So I was like, well, hey, I got one of them numbers. Let me go ahead and go work that, you know.
All right, that's my demo of the Henry Tempo 1 transceiver, otherwise a summer camp 250 or something. And this is also a FT200 by Yaesu. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it finds you helpful to tune your Henry Tempo 1 or tune your FT200, how to properly tune it and expect the receiving performance like this one. And I hope this has been helpful for you. God bless. And 73s.